Hey YouTube family, I'm sorry about the background. It's not the most ideal background. I'm in the garage because me and my wife are about to go out to dinner. But there was something on my mind today, and I was going to wait until I got back home, but I just thought that this was too important. So me and my wife are going to be late to our reservations, but that's totally fine. First of all, I hope everyone is having a great evening and looking forward to a great weekend. I sure am. Every day is a great day. Every day I'm able to impact others and others are able to impact me. That's the way the world goes around. I want so much to talk about what's going on in crypto tonight, but I want to make sure that I drive home a point that really impacted me today. I will tell you, you got to get into crypto. You've got to get into crypto ASAP. There was an article that I read recently today that millennials and one of those generations, Generation Zs or Gs, one of those generations are going to be some of the richest people on the planet because they're going to be investing in cryptocurrency, NFTs, and metaverse coins. You have to. Cryptocurrency is everywhere. One of my friends sent me a picture or a photo of a Bitcoin ATM machine in the mall. It's going mainstream. Cryptocurrency has been changing people's lives financially for over a decade, and it's not going to stop now. So if you're not into cryptocurrency, you got to get into cryptocurrency, and I'm going to make sure that I drive that point home in one of my other segments. But today was another day for me to realize how important it is to follow your gifts. I was having a talk with my son today, as I always do. Came home from finals, and I said to him, because I always want to make sure that he's still on the right path and he didn't change his mind as far as what he wants to do. So I said to him, hey son, what are your goals still? Do you still want to go to college? And he said, yes, Dad, I'm still going to go to college. I'm still going to do my entrepreneurial degree, and I'm still going to going to the UFC. He said, I'm going to make sure that I'm in the UFC for at least 10 years, and then I'm going to open my own gym. And he still wants to put people in an armbar for a living, and he still wants to get his nose potentially broken for a living. I go back to a conversation this summer. A good friend of mine, I call him a brother. We were talking to my son over his son's birthday party, and he asked my son, so what do you want to do with your life? And my son said the same thing over the summertime. I want to go to the UFC. And at that time, we said, no, not your hobby. What do you want to do to make your money? And he stood his stance, and he said, I want to go into the UFC. I'm going to go to college. I'm going to get my entrepreneurial degree, and I'm going to go into the UFC. And fast forwarding a few months later, he's still on that path. And man, that hit home. That hit home for me once again. And I may have said it before, but we have to follow our gifts, family. We have to. So many of us are missing the opportunity to make an impact in this land, in this world, because we are not following our gifts. We're either afraid to make the next leap, or we're afraid of something. But what we are doing is we're delaying what God is giving us, what God has planted what God has planted in us from the very beginning. I'm getting so excited, I almost got tripped up. But God has put in each and every one of us a very distinct gift that the world needs to see. And this phrase that I'm just going to say, many of people have said it. I didn't coin this phrase, but your real life is on the other side of fear. So many of us are not following our gifts and not following our talents, not following our God-given talent because something is prohibiting us, whether it be fear, whether it be someone negative in our life, whether it be, our current situation, bills, whatever the case may be, but we are delaying who we really are. I guarantee you that if you follow your gifts will make room for you. Your gifts will make room for you, family. So many of us, are saying, oh man, I have bills to pay. I can't do this right now. Yes, you can. You can make a way. Remember that phrase, your gifts will make room for you. So many of us like to do so many things, and we turn our gifts into a hobby instead of making that gift work for us. We have to realize who we are, family. We have to reassess who we are, what we're doing in our life, and we have to make an impact. We have to begin using our gifts. Find your gifts, revitalize your gifts, get the negative things out of your life. That gets me to my next point. Too many of us have something in our life that is preventing us from being our best self, whether that be a person or a thing. And sometimes we have to face the facts that we have to get that negative vibe, negative atmosphere, negative thing out of our lives, whether it be a friend, a spouse, a parent. Yes, I said a friend, a spouse, a parent. I don't mean get a divorce. I don't mean get rid of them. But I mean there might be a time where you have to sacrifice your time away from that person in order for you to get to where you need to go. Sometimes loved ones will deter us from what we really need to be, or who we really need to be and what we really need to do. That don't mean that we don't love them, but we have to realize that in order for us, right, in order for us to be of the best service to those around us, we need to realize our gifts. We need to take time for ourselves. We need to get negative things out of our atmosphere. And I'm not saying that these things are negative, but what I'm saying, whatever that thing is that is creating, that is inhibiting you, prohibiting you, whatever that thing is that is keeping you from being your best self, from keeping you from being positive, you need to get rid of that thing. You need to have so much positivity, so much good, so much thinking of, I'm getting a loss for words, I'm getting so excited, and I'm the freestyle motivator, so it's not scripted. But you have to have so much positivity, you have to have so much good around you. You have to get rid of all of that unnecessary thought process and get into a thought process that's going to catapult you to who you really are. And thirdly and lastly, all these things hit home today for me talking to my son. We have to stop making sacrifices prematurely. That was awesome. I heard that in my head today. We have to stop making sacrifices prematurely. I'm dealing with a certain situation where if I make a sacrifice prematurely, I'm going to be out. And that's something that I needed to realize. We have to stop. And what I mean by that is I've heard so many times and times again, I had to go home from college because, my mother is out of a job. I had to stop working in California and move back to New York because, my father's not doing so well. Oh, I had to stop sports. I had to give up my dream of being an NBA star or NWBA star because I had to go home to take care of my family. Oh, I had a child, so I can't go to college, or I can't pursue this dream or that dream. We are prematurely making sacrifices. We have to realize that sometimes we have to make that sacrifice. We have to make a sacrifice for ourselves in order to make sure that the sacrifice that we really want to make is fully taken care of. Sometimes we have to make a double sacrifice. Sometimes we have to really be selfish with our time. And I don't mean to be selfish in a negative way, family, but sometimes we need to make that sacrifice to pursue our goals, to pursue our gifts and to use our gifts and talents, go after our gifts and talents so that we can make something of ourselves, to go back to that situation that we want to, come in and save the day. Sometimes we have to make that sacrifice to become who we are and come back and really be of service to that particular thing or that particular circumstance or that particular person. Family, I love you. I want you all to be your best self. I don't want you to give up on your gifts and talents. I want to make sure that you live this life to your full potential, family. So look, I'm out, but you all have a great weekend. You all hug the ones you love. I'm out. Peace.